All right, let's put the next one up there. This is about what happened in New Hampshire. Interesting last night. So actually, remember this woman? Caroline Levitt, used to work at the White House whenever I was covering there. I remember her whenever she was just a junior press assistant. She's only 25 years old. She won her primary last night for the House of Representatives in the 1st Congressional District. I'm not entirely sure how competitive that seat actually is.
It's very competitive.
Right.
So this one, the Larry Sabato's crystal ball, they had it as a toss-up.
Okay.
After she got the nomination, they've moved it to lean down.
Lean Dean, yeah.
Because she was the more extreme of the candidates in the primary.
She's very MAGA. I mean, look, she's ran as MAGA. She got all the quote-unquote MAGA world endorsements. And her and the other winner in the Senate race really exemplify the quote-unquote MAGA sweep in the party. The reason I actually think that's important is that Trump didn't endorse in these races.
Yeah.
So these were not races where Trump was pushed over the edge. This was a real test for the primary voters themselves. Trump aside, who are we picking? In both cases, the quote-unquote MAGA person with the imprimatur of Trump, both on the Senate side and in the congressional district, both of them won their competitive primaries.
Yeah, it's like they didn't even need the Trump endorsement. They just needed the MAGA aesthetic.
Yeah, and which they had. Well, it's interesting, though, because in other primaries, there have been MAGA folks who have endorsed despite Trump's endorsement. In general, Trump's endorsement won. But always the question is like, what matters the most? And it looks like in the absence of a Trump endorsement, as appearing more MAGA or not, mattered a lot in New Hampshire. Now, why does New Hampshire matter? Presidential primary state. People forget, Trump won the New Hampshire primary by a blowout win. Remember, he lost the Iowa caucuses. I think he got 3rd place. That was his first win on the scene. And New Hampshire, very much those like white working class type voters, not same as some of the evangelicals and Catholics. In Iowa, more, I would say, more of a emblem for the people who ultimately swung the 2016 election. So for that fact to be, kind of the raucous GOP base, for them to go very much with the MAGA candidates, that does matter. And it seems to have affected electoral chances in terms of how the prognosticators are calling it. Would take that with whatever grain of salt that you will. Well, who the hell knows what's going to happen in New Hampshire?
Absolutely. I mean, there's another piece that's interesting here about the Senate race in particular, which is that this dude who, I don't know how you say his name, General Don Baldock?
Oh, yeah, Baldock. Baldock. Yeah.
He actually did not put a single ad of his own up on the airwaves. Mm-hmm. Did not spend a penny in advertising himself on the airwaves, which is kind of incredible. But Democrats saw him as the weaker candidate. And so the Senate Majority PAC, Chuck Schumer's group, aired ads across the state calling his opponent, State Senate President Chuck Morse, the choice of Mitch McConnell's Washington establishment. They called him another sleazy politician, and they tied him to the lobbying industry and opioids. The opioid epidemic, of course, been devastating in New Hampshire. So Democrats decided that, they're, again, playing with fire here. They decided this was the candidate they wanted to go up against, and they were successful in putting him over the top. Now, I think Republican voters have agency. And
of course
I think
they do.
Obviously, these are the type of candidates that they're selecting. So I'm not sure that the Democratic money ultimately was determinative here. But the big thing that the Republicans in this state are concerned about is that now with this dude as the nominee, Mitch McConnell and the others who could put money into the state are going to say, nah, this is not a good use of resources.
Yes.
And so that's the real thing. Obviously, we've been covering how limited funds are for a lot of Republican Senate candidates right now. They're having to beg Mitch McConnell or Peter Thiel or Donald Trump or whoever who has money in their PACs to come in and sort of rescue their butts in these various races. So with money being tight, very likely that McConnell and co. take a look now at this race, which already had been trending more towards the Democrats and the incumbent Maggie Hassan, and say, this is not a good investment for us. We're instead going to put more money into Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Ohio, or somewhere else where we think we really have a shot to win.
I'm still look, you're playing with fire. What if these people win? What if this is a new Marjorie Taylor Greene or Madison Cawthorn or look, you never know. Some crazy shit could happen.
Absolutely.
And if somebody could win, and now you have this guy in the Senate. So you will pay the price possibly for that.
Might reap what they sow. Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.